Alright, today I will be making some coffee soap, and what I have here is the lye mixed with some frozen coffee. Well, it's not frozen anymore. And I also put some frozen cocoa, and I have it on an ice bath because it was beginning to warm up. And trust me, you don't want to smell coffee when it's scorched by lye. It simply stinks. Alright, so these are my oils, and they are at 113, 118. So the oils are clear, and I'm going to add the lye water mixed with the coffee. No, the lye and the coffee. Okay, this is kind of tricky. I don't want it to splash, so I'm going to pour it over the shaft of the blender. And I also added some coffee powder that has been brewed. So that's the granules that you see in there. Okay, now the cocoa liquid that I added is actually, it's not the box cocoa. It's a very artisanal cocoa tablet that I received from my mom when she went to El Salvador. I am from El Salvador. And it pretty much has cocoa and sugar. Those are the main two ingredients. So the sugar on that is what I also needed to watch out. And that's what I also froze that. Okay, now I'm going to blend. Alrighty, it seems I have reached emulsion, and I had added about a tablespoon of the coffee grounds, and I'm going to add a little bit more. This is also frozen because I keep it on the freezer so it doesn't go bad. So, and I can feel the mix is heating up, so any bits of water is gonna melt. Then I have the fragrance already here, and I'm using coffee beans fragrance oil from Crafter's Choice. I bought it from Wholesale Supplies. Now, they don't pay me anything to tell you that, just to let you know. And I added 0.03, so that's like a tiny bit. It's a few drops of cinnamon bark, and that is because I like the smell of cinnamon primarily. Okay, now I need to go rinse my gloves. Give me one moment. Alright, so now I'm going to blend the fragrance in. And actually, before I do that, I do have a 1/4 teaspoon of cocoa powder that I'm going to use as my colorant. And you know, I didn't mix it with the oil. I mixed it, but I should have mixed it more. Let me do this. Alright, so I'm going to split this. Into this container, there is 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder mixed with some oil. Actually, is that what that is? Yeah, I think that's what that is. Okay. Just to have a darker brown accent on top. And here I have some titanium dioxide. And I believe that was, let me see, it was a 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to put some of the mix there to lighten it up. I don't need a whole lot of this. Just looking creamy. And just in case I need more than that, I'm going to, I going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of titanium dioxide. Actually, let's make it 1/2 teaspoon, because I need it to be really light. And I'm going to add a little bit, actually no, I'm going to add oil. This is quite experimental, in case you haven't noticed. And now I'm going to mix it. So this is going to be my milk, it's not really milk, but it's what's going to look like the milk in the soap, because I'm going to try to make, like a coffee house inspired design. I have quite a mess going on here, but it's gonna get better. Let me see, this is getting pretty thick, so I think it's ready to be poured. And I'm going to be using the slab mold, and I'm just going to pour all of it in here. So that part was easy. Now, I've only made coffee soap once before, and in addition to using coffee, I had also used goat's milk. This time I decided to keep it simpler by just using coffee instead of the distilled water. And that was the time that I discovered that if lye scorches coffee, it starts smelling really bad. And I had frozen it too, but for some reason it got heated up and it started turning like different colors, like green, very similar to what using wine soap will cause. If you let it scorch, it turns green and it stinks up. Okay, so that's gonna be the body of the soap. The main of it is gonna be this brown, and what I want to do now is just add these different colors. Just to give it more contrast. And this is the point where I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I've been watching videos of, let's see, I guess I'll start by going like this and like that. I do want it to be mostly on the top though. So I've watched videos of how different baristas do their cappuccino designs, when they do like a heart. Heart apparently is the easiest, or the first thing that they learn to do. And then they can go into the tulip design, and then there's some other ones that I forget their name. And the main reason why their design works is because they have skill and practice a lot. Okay, I'm trying to make the heart shape. Yeah, not bad. Not quite hard though. But anyway, they practice a lot, and when they add the milk is pretty much liquid, so it's even more difficult. Like, I'm able to come in here with the stick and do different things. They don't have that luxury because everything is liquid. Okay, just looking for my spatula. I'm not sure if I want these black lines, but I think it's too late now. I'm already there now. So anyway, I was watching these videos and I have nothing but admiration for what these baristas are able to do. There's also a secret, not a secret, but the milk needs to be quite foamy for what they do. And they begin by pouring it from up high so that it goes to the bottom. And then they come closer, they pull the cup closer to the surface so that they can do the designs that they do. Anyway, if you've never watched it, and you like that sort of thing, just Google in YouTube, do search for the different designs that they do. I'm not sure what this is. But anyway, I love the smell of coffee, for sure. But I don't like to drink it. I don't like the taste of it that much. When I was little, my dad tried to get me into drinking coffee. And I can drink maybe a cup. No, not a cup. I could give maybe a few, what do you call that? I will test it. That's what I will do. I will test it. I will do a couple of them. Replace this part with the word. And I will try it. I will do like a sip or two. But it wasn't, I never felt compelled to finish in it. Just not crazy about the taste, but I really like the smell. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna get a true heart shape. So this is the closest I'm going to get. And I've been trying to do the tulip, but the tulip escapes me. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It's the first time in a while that I haven't used any embeds. And it's actually nice. Not have to worry or wait for this to set.